You couldn't devise a better way to make sure the disease was spreading except to put people in this tube, this cylinder, have them eat with them, have them serve food so they are eating with the mask off, and then land someplace so they disperse to a new area. And I was like, oh, fuck you people with the... Okay, so, but Sun Air, they were great. They were so nice. And I remember the stewardesses were so... flight attendant. See, the last time I flew, they were both stewardesses. And I was talking to them and I said, the last time I flew, they showed one movie. And you bought a headset, $3.
Which they were up there squirting with stuff to clean it each time.
Charmed.
But we land, and even when we landed, it was like, oh, thank God we're home. Not even close. Like, you had to get a fucking, shuttle bus to your baggage claim. And the shuttle bus, of course, that takes 20 minutes. Everybody piles on. They look like zombies at this point. And then the bus, it's driving on the tarmac. It gets halfway there, and I guess we had to wait for some plane to pass us. I think it was Hawaiian Airlines had to pass before we couldn't go behind them. Maybe we'd be hit by their tail exhaust or something. So we waited for a half hour standing in this bus. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why are we sitting here? And everybody just had a look on their face like, this is what happened.
You got a flat.
We did it. We do this every week. Yeah. And it was like, wow, they really have zombified the people to accept. And
Sun has a good safety record, by the way.
I had never even heard of them.
No, they have a good safety record.
They couldn't have been nicer. Yeah. I love the people at Sun Air. And boy, that tuna sub at the airport was
Where were you coming
special
from?
cuisine. I was coming from Minneapolis, and I was supposed to go to Milwaukee. It was the night before the Republican convention. I was supposed to play Milwaukee, and I never made it there. But it probably is for the best because he was shot 2 days earlier, shot in the ear, the first one. They said that they had roped off all of downtown. I probably couldn't have gotten to the hotel or the venue. So it probably would have been a fool's errand to go anyway, but I did try, because I didn't want people to think that I was not going there because I was in some way put off by, I don't know what kind of internet conspiracies they come up with. They'd say some crazy shit. Bill Maher didn't go to Milwaukee when he was scheduled to because Trump had been shot and he, what? Nothing. But that's what they would have said. They would have made up some crazy shit.
Yeah, somehow.
So I tried, but it wasn't happening, so we took Sun Air back home.
So you go make that up, that date?
I already did.
Oh.
I only ever missed 2 other dates in my life, and it was never because of health. I've never missed a show because of health. They made me not do 2 real times during the pandemic because I tested positive, but I was fine. I could have done the show. But okay, but other than that, never missed a show. Never missed a stand-up show except one time. The airport was fogged in. We couldn't land.
Our flight has
the
much
plane
to offer.
broke, going to Texas. And when I did the makeup date, I put out free barbecue in the parking lot for everybody who came back.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because that's
good
shitty
business.
Even though I couldn't help it, it's a shitty thing to do to people.
Yeah.
People take a shower and they pick out a shirt and it's date night and we're going to see this show and then you don't even show up. I can't take it. All these rock stars who show up 3 hours late
I never
or don't show
that.
up or cancel shows. How awful.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You know,
that's terrible.
I mean, this whole thing about us being lucky, we're lucky because a lot of people make us lucky, right?
No kidding.
I mean, without them, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't understand these leaving audience standing there for 3 hours. When I say our show starts at 9:30, at 9:29:59,
I mean,
first beat of that music goes and we're going.
Madonna does it. Really, Madonna? You haven't proved by now that you're cool. We get it. You're Madonna. You're iconic. You don't need to and I can make you wait 3 hours. It would be so much cooler not to do that. First of all, it's been done to death.
Yeah, when I've had big names on the show over the years, the bigger the name, the smaller the ego. I mean, I've had like the third runner-up from
Yeah.
American Idol come over with an on prize that you got to open the gates for. And Stevie Wonder shows up 20 minutes early for his call time and brings donuts for everybody. I swear to God, the bigger the star, smaller the eagle's been my experience.
Yeah, he thought he was in New York.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah, well, that's generally true. I mean,
I know there are exceptions.
there are exceptions, but I know what you're saying. That the people who have no reason to be insecure because their place in the firmament of show business is so secure, and security. Not that I have to tell a shrink like you, is like a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
How secure you feel. I mean, that again, not to be always lauding what's great about age, now that we have so few
Thank you for
moons
sharing.
left ahead of us, now that you depressed me about
Got
that.
you depressed now, but you're gonna go home, so oh God.
But one of the great things is that, just being secure. It's like, of all the things that probably fucked it up with women in the era, and that era stretched on for quite a while, when I was trying to impress women and go out with women.
Take a look.
It's insecurity. They can smell it on you. It's not attractive. It's not sexy. It's Axe body spray. It's psychological
Check in
Axe
again
body
soon.
spray. It's a big turn off. And when you have it, when you have true security, because you can't fake it, because they can smell that on you too.
See anything new?
They always put out these books when I was a kid. How to pick up women books. You see it in the ad of National Lampoon, the back of National. So how to pick up women, and it was always some scam
Coin
about
or barter?
basically
I trade it all.
presenting yourself as something you totally were not, as if you could even pull this off at that age, and you can't. Even at any age, they can smell that on you. Like, pretend you don't really like her. Well, she's gonna know if you really like her.
Browse at your
Did
leisure.
you buy those?
I'm here if you need some
I don't
wares.
think I ever bought one, but we kind of all knew what they said. I don't remember ever having one, because if I had one, I'd still have it, because it's the kind of artifact I would not have thrown away. But I certainly remember the ads, and that was always the basic gist of it was, like, play hard to get. Well, she doesn't want me anyway. I don't think this is not really improving.
She's not gonna notice.
Yeah. Exactly. She's not gonna notice. Yeah.
Don't act interested.
Yeah.
Well, she's got it back to me. How?
Yeah. Way ahead of you. That's hysterical, yeah.
You could have written a book.
Right, exactly. So, shit like that. And then, later on in life, when you're less horny, which helps a lot because it makes you less desperate, and when you're less desperate, you're more attractive.
Yeah, they can spell desperation.
They certainly can. They really can. One of their great assets.
Yeah, that and marijuana, they can smell on you.
Well,
As soon as you turn the corner, here comes Desperate Bill. Smell pot
desperate
and
Bill.
desperation. No.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I
all
should
right.
probably release you back into the wild.
All right.
But this.
Well, thanks for doing this.
Oh,
Thanks for talking about Merritt Street Media. I'm proud of it.
It
You got to
is-
come.
You have
When you're
arrived.
gonna do a Dallas show, you
Fair
got to come by
skies and
see me.
strong winds.
of course.
Got 5 acres under roof there, and we're doing all kinds of stuff. We have a live audience.
If I'm ever in Dallas again. No, really.
Do you come to Texas?
Well, I do, but now that I'm not doing stand-up
Yeah.
next year, like, the only reason I ever went to
The
Dallas,
rebels have raided a
not that I love
caravan
Dallas,
of medical supplies and
Okay.
taken
But you
them
had good
back to
crowds
this
in Dallas.
but
encampment.
now that I have more free
Reclaim
time,
any that you can
great.
find.
I mean, I love places like that, because, I
Rebels from the
more
outpost have been
time.
ambushing
Stick up
civilians
the
along the roads to Valdrakken.
crowd. And
Do
that's
what you
my
can
kind of
to
crowd.
halt their
I
operations.
love Dallas.
I'll send the plane for you.
I'll go Sunday.
Valdrasses may look deadly to outsiders, but some cute critters will smooth the rough edges.
I'm not like you. The last thing I ever would want is to own a plane. So it's like the same thing with marriage. On that note.
The Isles welcome you. Until we...
Those Terrasect have made off with our supplies! Get him back!
Is your current skin regimen clinically proven to reverse the molecular age of your skin? I highly doubt. Breck.
I want to start a campaign that teaching Tom should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Comedy Hall of Fame.
And I realized because I'm a comedian, I could entertain them myself.
Okay, I have people I cannot believe I get to talk to.
What's up, bro?
Oh, I am so
Hey, man. How are you?
cavilling. Thank you.
You've been a while.
How are you? I don't know what to say. It's what a day. As you can see, I dressed up for you. I don't usually. I know.
It's very cool.
Well, just because I feel like
and we're geeks bringing gifts.
me too, and of course I'm nervous it will live up to the approval of the gods. But you know, I stand on your shoulders in many ways. As a comedian of some years, who has, among my bag of tricks, certainly traded on my reputation for enjoying marijuana.
This is good for you.
A lot, and had a zillion lines and jokes that worked because that was, but that all came from you. You guys did that first, you did it best. You are the OGs of that.
No extra charge.
So-
You're doing good.
Okay.
But don't beat on his show that he's got bad knees.
Yeah, I got bad.
Why
So,
did-
jump on me. I'm
Okay, but like, look, for those, many in this country who have said, and some still do, that marijuana isn't good for you, I would say, you guys look great, and you guys are old.
Yeah, really.
He's old like I'm old, but you're really old. And you're still here, and you look healthy. What does that say about
One is
the
good
wacky
for
weed?
For two.
By the way, no one who's a real stoner would ever say wacky weed. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
We like short green.
Wait.
So, yeah. I started smoking when I was 19.
Yeah? Wow.
Where are you from originally?
New Jersey.
Oh, you're Jersey. Oh, you're a Jersey guy. You're a
Yeah.
I
Jersey boy.
started at 19 too.
I feel that was better because, you know, first of all, kids shouldn't do drugs.
Yeah.
We can all agree on that, right?
Sure.
Unless you're a little enthusiastic about it. Okay, kids shouldn't do drugs. So let's get them on our side a little.
I told my kids, listen, if you're going to do drugs, replace them. That's what I told them.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because sometime in the 80s, hanging out with a group of people, and one night your daughter is in the mix.
Rita.
She was so much fun, and she was awesome. And I remember her saying, like, yeah, I don't smoke pot anymore. My father's kind of disappointed in me.
It was RD.
And I remember thinking, you know, like, whatever parents do, the kids will rebel.
Yeah. No matter
You
what.
want them not to smoke pot?
Yeah.
Be Tommy John.
Yeah, both of them.
Your show's going well.
But
Yeah, very good.
Oh, this one? Well, you know, again, I owe you such a debt because you made this possible in many ways that I could have a show, I guess podcasts or shows. I certainly don't run it like show or my show or anything but my life. But I mean, I was already doing this anyway on a Wednesday afternoon. But, just the fact that, you know, I can have a second show, because I sure wouldn't get stoned for real time with all the politicians and stuff. But that I can do it here and it's accepted, and I mean, we've come a long
A
way.
long way in a short,
A long way.
comparatively short time. Yeah.
I mean, you even did time, right?
Yeah. They went to
That's-
the Rock.
Yeah, in fact, you came, we did a Holly Shore roast at the Comedy Store. And you came down to hear, I just got out of jail,
Yeah.
Bill came down, he wanted to hear me on
Creatures
stage
and relics from the
with Pauly
past
Shore.
have made their way
And,
into our present.
It was short. It was,
Collect
you know,
any
because-
artifacts you can
it was
find before they are
Pauly Shore.
lost to the time
What are you
waves.
gonna say?
What year is this?
Do not try to apprehend this man.
Because I have zero recollection.
But I got out of jail.
Maybe they're right about that with the pot.
I got out of jail.
The
And,
memory.
it was just one moment, you know.
And why did you go? You were selling bongs or some shit?
No, no, I went in because I was
Selling
my
bonds.
company was selling bonds.
Yeah, I just don't think that would happen today.
You don't know.
The
The
guy that
right,
got
the
old.
right DA in the right town, it can happen.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Maybe I'm being sanguine about it, but like
No, they had a hit on me.
a hit
The Bush family.
to kill you?
No,
to
he
get-
was invading Iraq, and so they needed some sort
I
of
see.
hippie bullshit.
Wag the dog.
Yeah,
yeah.
and so
They
they
needed to
wanted,
wag the
so
dog.
they attacked me, and they sentenced me on 9/11.
Really?
That's when they sentenced me on 9/11,
9/11?
and they expected a big protest, you know.
Yeah.
And the one guy showed up with a sign saying "Free marijuana."
Free marijuana.
Yeah.
One
Did
guy.
he, was he giving it away?
No, that's why.
No one figured that one out.
That's genius. That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
But that's a scream.
Yeah. Free marijuana, and that was it. And the judge, Schwartz was his name, and he had a reputation of doing whatever the Bush people wanted done. And so that's why he was giving my thing.
Yeah.
Because when I went to court, they were saying things, you know, they were reading off the charges, and I'm trying to be as honest as I can. And when they said that I own the company, I had to correct them and say, no, I don't. So they had to stop the whole proceeding and say, well, just a minute. We agreed that you're going to plead guilty. And so they were just,
So Soviet.
Yeah.
So Soviet,
yeah,
right?
that's what it was.
They
Really?
needed a face for their campaign because they were going after paraphernalia on the internet.
Right,
And they needed a face for it.
Yeah.
right.
And,
Enter the face.
and the fact that
Yeah.
and the name Chong didn't help. You know, because when they see Chong, right away they think Chinese. That's what I said. Yeah. And that's what they forced everybody else. So when they're going after someone, they're doing Chong, these are perfect.
And you think they wanted to get Chinese more than
Well, the Chinese names are, who is this guy?
But all the Chinese always come up to me, how come your name's Tony?
Yeah.
I don't know if even the Bushes were going after the Chinese.
I don't know.
2004. I mean, China, the country. I've complained about this many times on my other show. I don't want to get too political, but like one of the problems with the left, I think, is that they see everything through the prism of race. So they're way too easy on China,
Yeah.
which does horrible fucking things.
All over, all the
Horrible,
time.
illiberal, dictatorial, anti-freedom, anti-human
They
things.
would run over a guy with a tank. On TV.
They went,
They run over a guy with a tank.
Yeah, they did. Right. But, you know, because the policing is racist, you know, they wouldn't say, for example, that the COVID virus escaped from a lab. And it wasn't even accusing China of doing it on purpose,
No.
which you could. It's possible. I don't think it was. But I do think it escaped from a lab.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or a wet market.
That's the other possibility.
That's the other possibility.
And it could be that, but I have a feeling in 50 years, people will look back and they will say, wait a minute, I wasn't around at the time. Are you telling me that the virus escaped from the one place in China that was working on the virus? And just people at the time were like debating what it was. I feel it will look obvious. But anyway,
I don't know.
Chong, getting back to your story, so they wanted to get you for so many things.
Yeah.
Chinese, but mostly distraction.
Yeah.
You harbor bitterness toward the Bush family? No? No?
No, it was a life changer for me. No, it was, well, I had hung with Timothy Leary. And Tim
I did too. You know that chair over there?
Yeah.
You see that chair? Yeah. That's a chair that Timothy Leary burned a hole in with a cigarette at a Christmas party I had. So he ruined the chair, so he signed it. And now it's in our
Right? Works out, but he was a good buddy of ours. We hung out with him.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Well, we put it right to the end.
I do not enjoy bringing battle to my kin,
we became
but I cannot allow their
really good
assaults to
friends.
continue.
In fact, he was going on the road. We're like road comics. I'd see him,
Right.
every once in a while, I'd see him in the airport. Anyway, how's the road treating you?
Rebels have raided a caravan of medical
life,
supplies
but-
and taken them back to this
Back in the
encampment.
day,
Reclaim
before
any
I
that
knew
you
him,
can
and I
find.
didn't know him as well as you, but like the documentary, I mean the women and the drugs and the fighting the government, all that being on the lam. Yeah. I mean it was inspiring.
Escaping from the prison, hand over hand on the wire. I know, with cell phone wire.
Somebody make a movie.
Here's a guy who's Harvard professor in 26 books and lives in 26 prisons around the world. I don't know anybody with that.
He was in that many prisons?
Yeah.
Well,
He kept getting out.
He was the one that convinced me that prison was kind of cool. Because he told me, he said, it was the greatest time. He says, I'd write, then go play tennis.
Talk to Charlie Manson in the next cell.
What do you think I'm giving you? I know, it's like taking Violin
Yeah.
lessons from Paganini
Yeah,
to
really.
smoke with you, but
Don't die.
you've had it before.
I was worried there might be some tobacco in it.
Oh, never.
No, I'm good.
Oh, no. No, I only get pot. I'm only allowed to. That one is from my friend Todd McCormick.
Yeah, I know it's
Of course you do. Major figure in the pot movement, and also did time. I didn't get pot from him and my other friend Morris. I tell them, I just want something clean because you're in the pot business, right? I mean, think pesticides, fungus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not great for our bodies to be putting smoke in them.
Yeah, probably not.
Right, I mean, just common sense.
The Chinese feel that's okay.
Oh, always with the Chinese. I'm kidding.
5,000 years ago,
Maybe that's where the virus came from.
5,000 years ago, they wrote in the I Ching that they used cannabis to combat cancer. Because back in the day, the emperors paid the doctors to keep them healthy. But if they got sick, and they, for one reason, died, they would kill the doctor.
That's an extreme version. But that model is something that not only is discussed as something we should do, but we should do. We should incentivize health. Keep the patient healthy, you get more money.
You have the
Don't do
thanks of
that and we
Valdrak.
kill you. I like the Chinese
I
model.
like it.
You
It's
know what? I
simple.
like it.
I like it.
You know that the Chinese invented the peanut?
The penis?
They at first used it as a cooking utensil. They did not figure out what to do with it for quite a while. But the Chinese, I'm telling you, it's
Well,
always
they thought
about the
themselves.
Chinese.
Baseball.
Because they said that the one boy rule.
Right.
That practically
Oh,
ruined
yeah,
their
one childhood for a long
whole thing.
time.
For a long time.
But you weren't actually born in China, right?
No.
Your family moved from Peking.
No, my dad. My dad was born. Actually, my dad was born in Vancouver, Canada, and
A lot of British people.
but his dad was born in China, and it was his dad. My grandfather was tradition, and he had my grandfather. Quite sure he had a lot of money because he had a couple of families. Like my dad, it was his Canadian family. Because my grandfather, he was typical rich Chinese. In fact, my dad told me that they had a young girl living on the floor mat, the welcome mat. It was so poor back then, that homeless would live if they found any place.
I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah,
But that's
Really,
like...
she went from P. Diddy, man.
But that's...
yeah.
That's right. That's hysterical.
Jesus.
Oh, can you believe?
Chinese. I learned everything about Chinese from him.
They didn't even give him bail.
No.
Of Daddy?
It was a flight risk.
I mean...
No, they want to torture that part.
He offered a... Well, he seems to have done some very bad things.
Yeah, well.
But this happens often. Harvey Weinstein, I mean, you
The
think about
Isles have
Pete Epstein,
awakened.
people who are living these amazing lives. A little too amazing.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, their little Catholic priest in there.
Yes, that too. And then suddenly, you're in a jail cell? I mean...
Kalang. I asked Tom this question. What was the worst, when you knew you were in jail, and this is when that door went clang,
I heard the lock
and then locked?
turn. Click. I heard that clink.
You must hear guys crying.
And then there was a few, yeah, there was guys crying, but it was a camp more than anything,
So-
it was like a lawyer's camp,
We will
You
persevere.
didn't emerge from this experience with the need for 3 fingers in your asshole when you have sex.
Well,
Can I put it that way? I mean,
He was like used to it. Let's put it that way.
No, I got there with the old guys. There's old guys walking around with foam cushions, and when he left,
foam cushions?
he gave me
Because-
a cushion
sit
because
on.
there's no soft place to sit in prison.
All the benches are
Oh,
cement.
I thought you were going to say foam cushion because the anal sex makes your ass so sore
Well,
that when you...
These
that
guys,
too.
anal sex was like a memory.
Funny thing, if they just gave out the foam cushion as you entered, you got your uniform, and here's your foam cushion.
Yeah.
You will be getting
You'll
fucked
be-
in the
you'll be
ass,
used-
and there's a small pamphlet on how to use it.
This prison was so kind of isolated that it didn't have any fences, and they run, keep running. Go, good luck to you.
Right.
And because they knew the guys that tried to do that, they knew who they were. And
Because they
every
were
step
so
of the way.
old?
No, it's so far. There's nothing around. It's in the middle of the fucking desert.
Right.
I mean, middle of the, that's the only thing out there. It was made for the Watergate guys.
Originally, it
Oh, is
was a
that right?
women's prison,
It's a women's prison.
and then all the Watergate.
Watergate guys, all of them were
So women, white collar, and potheads.
Well, they ran out of. They never.
Troublesome if you're going to go down the scale of monsters.
They never had enough women. And the great thing about it is that they had their own water tower. So we had unlimited showers.
Unlimited showers.
Yeah.
And that's a great
Yeah.
perk if you're a
Think
prisoner,
about it.
right?
If
I
you're
mean,
in jail,
yeah, that's rare.
you can have 45 an hour shower.
I spent a night in the Beverly Hills jail, a DUI in 1992. I'm not proud of, but I was barely over the limit, both with the speeding and with the drinking. But I was wearing at the time leopard shoes, which I feel might have influenced the officer
Yes.
as to what this asshole is.
Yeah.
Leopard shoes, I just cannot. So, okay, but, what was I gonna Say, what were we talking
Well,
about?
how was the showers?
Oh, Beverly Hills Jail, yeah. So it is sobering. I mean, of course,
What
this is
can
the
I
Beverly
get for you
Hills
today?
Jail. I ordered raisin toast, no raisins. I mean, the room service was like an hour. The air conditioning made a noise. I mean, I said, can I be moved to another cell? And then it was like, oh, we're doing construction. Oh, but you still put me in the jail cell? Ah, you can't get a good jail cell these days.
Dang.
And there was nothing on the SpectreVision.
There is the reality of jail too, man.
We got busted
Oh.
in Tampa for obscenity
Yeah.
right after, what's the name, Jim Morris showed his wiener.
Dean Morrison.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah, Jim Morrison showed his wiener. So,
Everybody got busted at this hall.
so they had a scam where they had you had to put up $5,000 performance bond, and if you broke it, the hall owner got to keep the $5,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we got arrested, and so we got arrested, put in Tampa, Florida jail, and Cheech and I, we just got off stage. They took us right off stage, took us to jail, and so we still had that performer kind of vibe going.
Well,
And
this
so
is a different one from you.
yeah, so we're in the cell, and we're both being funny. Cheech was kind of bugging the guard, one guard. He's telling the guard, "Oh, jail attendee, do you have some
There
good
are some
toilet
strange
tissue?"
magical anomalies in
And
the ice
there was
here.
quite a crowd
Could you
of people
climb up
in there
and gather
for a
some
minute.
samples?
Then all of a sudden, everybody disappeared. You know? And the guy that Cheech was saying, "Oh, the jail attendee," he was about to change, and he points at Cheech.